All right. Hello, Dawson science students, or Dawson students in general. My name is Nicholas Tirschler. I'm running for Science Student Council, and I just wanted to make a video basically explaining my platform fully, because, I mean, there's a lot of people sort of say very broad things like, well, I'll listen to the community, or, sort of tiny policy standpoints, but nobody really lays out their full plan, because I think most people don't really know till they get there, but I know what I want. So let's start off. Most of you probably know or have heard of the DSU, but you might not know specifically what they do, especially in relation to student clubs. So the DSU is the regulating body for student clubs. Any official club has to go through the DSU, otherwise it's just a gathering of students. They spend about 1% of their budget on student clubs. Of that $2.3 million, about 25,000 of that is spent on student clubs. Not a lot. We'll definitely work on that. Just briefly, my experience with clubs is that I had, when I joined Dawson, when I came to Dawson, I had originally wanted to join a club. I was looking everywhere for clubs, and the only place I found clubs, online at least, was the Dawson Student Union website, which has a list of about 5 clubs, which most of them did not suit me as a science student. The only remotely interesting one was the astronomy club, and not my interest. Turns out there was a robotics club, there was a particle physics club, there were all these clubs that are technically not official Dawson clubs under the DSU, and I had kind of vaguely wondered why that was, but not really cared. I joined the particle physics club, great people, I really enjoyed my experience there. And then eventually I wanted to start my own club. I started the Dawson Dawson Aerospace Club, and I was sort of looking for sponsors, for official recognition of the club, money to do projects, but also recognition from the school that we are an official club, because if you want to go and ask a company for money, you have to kind of be recognized by the school. And I realized that there is a bylaw in the Constitution, the Dawson Constitution, the DSU Constitution, that says DSU clubs cannot get funding from outside of the DSU. So even through something called the Dawson Foundation, which is an organization that gives out money for student projects, which is what I went through for the first bit of funding for the club. Even if you get money from them, which is an organization in Dawson, you cannot be a DSU club. You only get the $150 a semester that they offer. That's it. So when I heard that, I just knew that the DSU was not for my club, because, as you can imagine, the engineering club projects are very, very expensive. The one we're working on now is about $500 to $700. And we're looking to do projects well into the thousands, if not 10,000 plus dollars. So yeah, we would need to go out and get external funding, which we're working on, but if we were an official DSU club, we could not do that. And that is the reason why the robotics club, the Model UN, the particle physics club, all these great real clubs that have tons of students in them are not official DSU clubs, because they get all external funding, because what they do is very expensive, and it's worthwhile, but it's expensive, and $150 a semester is not enough. So my solution to this is, one, to fix this constitution. Change it, because it can be changed through the student council. Student council needs to vote 2/3 in favor of changing it. Then there's a referendum with the school, but it is possible to change the constitution, so that if I win, we will try to do that. And my other solution is a new system for the management of clubs by the DSU, and that would be a tiered system. So tier 1 would be, and this stemmed from an issue that I had, which was that I would have been okay to go to the DSU, become an official DSU club, let's say that cannot get external funding, but get no fund, or that can get external funding, but does not get any funding from the DSU, because we're planning on getting most of our funding externally, so might as well just be an official Dawson club. But we didn't necessarily need the $150 a semester from the DSU, and there's no option for that, and that really limits the number of clubs there can be, because it's no longer a bureaucracy question, it's a fiscal question. Do we have enough money to support adding many more clubs? And the answer is no. So they have to pick and choose which clubs get added, which should not be the case. I think they should just add as many clubs as they can, but the clubs don't necessarily need the funding. Tier 2 would be more of the classic DSU club. They get the $150, whatever, $300 a semester funding, a chess club or whatever, right? They can use the club spaces if they book it, whatever. And then tier 3 would be for those more expensive clubs. There could be a variable budget, and external funding, of course. But this would be for the robotics club, the Model UN club, the particle physics club. These clubs that get external funding and also need a way to be official Dawson clubs. Yeah, so just to finish this off, I'd like to speak a bit about why clubs are important to me, specifically. I like doing extracurriculars. I wish there were more. I wish there were as many as possible so that I could pick the few that really, really do interest me. But also, I think that extracurriculars are what makes the school special. Things like the teachers or the building are not things that can be changed, but extracurriculars can very easily be affected by the administration of the school, and right now they're being squashed. When I was trying to start my club, there was so much resistance and friction that it made it practically impossible to start my club, to the point where now we have 50 members, 20 actually active members, and it's still not technically an official club because we're not recognized by the DSU or the school widely. Even though we get funding from the school through the Dawson Foundation, we still are not an official club. So, the election is coming up. I believe the 23rd and the 24th of April. Please do vote for me, Nicholas Tirschler. And please, if you want to start a club, because that's the best thing you can do for your school. Thanks for listening.